in this leadership insight that we've been talking about for a few weeks now on the subject of operating states. So you'll recall that we went through formulation, concentration, momentum, stability, and mastery, which are a natural progression of excellence, let's say, in the creation and operation of a team or a large initiative. But the reality is that sometimes things go wrong, okay? And we have to be able to recognize, hopefully, prior to that happening, the signs that that may be something that we're facing. And we certainly have to be able to deal with it and try to recover, if ever that does happen. So the last two operating states today I want to cover, and they are emergency and danger. Okay, so emergency and danger occur when a team or an initiative that's in progress really reverses direction and begins moving back towards non-existence. Really, in a sense, emergency is momentum in reverse, right? So if you look back at the video on momentum, and danger is concentration in reverse. It's worth giving that some thought. And unless responded to, emergency will move into danger, and danger will move into non-existence of that team. So it's critical to respond to a reversal in direction as quickly as you can. Emergency and danger usually result from, quite honestly, insufficient management, but it's not an inefficient manager, okay? It's insufficient management. And again, from an accountability perspective, that's the accountability of the manager or the leader just as much as everybody else in that team. If momentum and concentration are managed properly, they normally will not reverse. So, emergency and danger, usually insufficient management, insufficient investment in people, insufficient investment in what it truly takes to drive a team or an initiative. And by investment, again, people investment, financial investment, resource investment. Time management is often a challenge. Over-promising, under-delivering, not having good control of, project variables and those sorts of things. After management, the second place to look for the source of like a reversal in direction really is integrity. The integrity of the individuals, tends, if there is one or more people on a team really lack integrity, that can often lead to emergency and danger. The principles here of emergency, let's start there first. So communicate, beginning by declaring the emergency. You've got to say to the team, we have a problem here. You don't communicate negatively though. You communicate that you're foreseeing this operating state, but you inspire and you promote and you enroll everyone into turning that emergency around. So it's a positive message at that state. You do an integrity check, right? People may have gotten lax with their promises, with keeping, the rules and the standards that you designed when you were in that concentration stage. You look for where people are not being as accountable as they should be. But you do this with a light touch, and it's not punitive at this point. And you have people discover where their own integrity or their own accountability may have been lax. And you give them the opportunity to then correct that themselves, right? It's much better for them to do that than for you to have to do it for them. Principles of danger. So, if you haven't been successful in heading off an emergency and you get to this operating state known as danger, you have to immediately bypass the person who is responsible for, you know, the particular area of the project or team that is in danger. So, you know, you have to take control, right? So you declare, you say, hey, I have to deal with this now, okay? You declare that, you designate the person who is now going to be accountable for that area that's not working. It could be you, could be somebody else on the team. You've got to say what's going to be done. You've got to provide for what's missing, you know, that hasn't been there. Again, the resources, the people, the time management, whatever it might have been, whatever the root cause of the problem is. You've got to say what the results are that you're looking for. Okay, so this isn't working is not sufficient, right? We set out to achieve some results. We haven't achieved those results. The results you want to go after when you're now in this stage of danger could be more or less than the results you originally committed to, but you've got to say what they are. And then, you know, declare that you're bypassing, you're putting this resource in place. This is the results that you're expected. And you really need to operate, the phrase we use is as if the house was on fire, right? Because if the team is worth putting together in the first place, it's worth saving, right? And so, you know, if you ever get to this stage, it's a problem, and it's one that you have to put some real urgency and energy around. Hopefully, you get to that point where you can then declare that danger is complete and you can reset, and you maybe have to go back all the way to formulation, but at least likely to, you know, to concentration again, and maybe establish some different rules, clarify rules that weren't there, put some certain standards or practices or training in place. And here's probably the most important and final thing is you have to clean up, but you have to do that compassionately. Again, it's not about blaming an individual. It's likely a breakdown of your system or your processes. So compassionately clean up, complete, you know, this kind of get closure with every person involved. Any outstanding issues, hurt feelings, lingering resentments, you have to deal with those, or you're never really going to move on, right? And again, you will have set out, you know, some results that you're, you know, hopefully now achieving, and I think, you know, there's always a silver lining to the cloud. So if you ever have to deal with an emergency and danger, and you deal with it properly, and you get through it, celebrate, because that's a great success. You know, one could argue that maybe even a bigger success than if everything had just gone swimmingly. So that's it. You know, we've gone through all of these operating states, and you can think of them as a progression with this drop off of the cliff at the edge, at the end, that you hopefully never have to deal with. So again, if you found some value here, please practice these things, right? This is not just something for you to listen to and then, you know, ignore. We all have an opportunity to put these things into practice. So let's do that. Again, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe, and share with anybody else that you think might benefit from it. And thanks again. Speak to you soon.